The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to the Lord.
Jesus said, "Amen, amen, I say to you, whoever does not enter a sheepfold through the gate but climbs over elsewhere is a thief and a robber. But whoever enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens it for him, and the sheep hear his voice, as he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has driven out all his own, he walks ahead of them, and the sheep follow him, because they recognize his voice. But they will not follow a stranger. They will run away from him, because they do not recognize the voice of strangers." Although Jesus used this figure of speech, they did not realize what he was trying to tell them. So Jesus said again, "Amen, amen, I say to you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved, and will come in and go out and find pasture. A thief comes only to steal and slaughter and destroy. I came so that they might have life, and have it more abundantly." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. I want to take these images in reverse for you today. I am the gate for the sheep. What does that mean? I am the gate for the sheep. Well, we know that a shepherd in Jesus' time especially would have himself protected and guarded the sheep by lying across the entrance to the pen at night. So the shepherd, in a sense, here is the gate. Which is an interesting characteristic of the shepherd and of the good shepherd. If we think that Jesus himself, as the good shepherd, as the gate for the sheep, as the one who lies across the entrance to the fold, does so in order to protect the sheep and to keep them together. But what is he doing? He's putting himself between them and danger. Yeah, he is laying his life on the line for the sheep. And this is then what Jesus offers, his first little explanation of what he's said before. It gives us some sense of how the people of his time, and then we, are to identify who the true shepherd is, who God's anointed king is. When he has driven out all his own, he walks ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they recognize his voice. Jesus is on the scene as God's anointed king of Israel, and he is the one who has come through the gate. He is the one who the gatekeeper has allowed to come into the sheepfold and lead them out by calling their name, the recognition of his voice. What he's talking about here is that there were, in fact, various movements at that time. There were, in fact, various would-be messiahs, would-be kings at that time, and they're all frauds and phonies and fakes. Jesus is the true king, and that applies then precisely because it applies then historically. It applies for us today. And the question that we have to face is, who is our life's king? Who is our king? Who are we going to take direction from? And I would say also like this, because Jesus is at the head, because the shepherd is at the head of the flock, because Jesus is at the head of his people, we should be asking ourselves, at least from time to time, what's the point? Where are we going? And you can ask that question of Jesus, but I want you to ask that question of yourself. Where are you going? Where do you want to go? What do you think your life's success is? Right? Where do we want to go? Yeah, I would say that, Antoinette, but I would say it a little differently. I think it's not that we want to go to heaven. I think that it's what we want to get the life of heaven into us now. And Jesus is shepherding us so that can be the case. That's why he says, I came so that they might have life and have it more abundantly. He wants us to be filled with his life now. But we come up with other objectives for our life. And when we come up with other objectives for our life, other successes, and it's not simply trusting and following Jesus, it's not simply faithfulness, when it's something else, it's usually something like riches, power, pleasure, comfort, popularity, whatever, then we're led astray by a false shepherd, by a thief or a brigand, even if that brigand just lives inside my head. Right? I go off and I will not find fullness of life that way. The way that the pursuit of money, power, pleasure, popularity, that way does not give me fullness of life. No matter how good it looks in the moment. No, fullness of life lies the way that Jesus goes. And he's leading us. So what does it mean then? It means that our lives, not simply just dumb sheep following, and sheep are dumb, okay, so I'm not rip on them too hard, but not dumb sheep, following Jesus. No, we're becoming like the shepherd by following Jesus, which means our lives look like his, which means that we're just as he will lie across the entrance to the pen to defend the sheep, so too we will become willing to lay our lives down in the service of God and for the good of the people that he's entrusted to our care.